talk about my favorite Disney Channel shows of all time. I am a huge Disney Channel fan. I grew up watching the Disney Channel. I still watch the Disney Channel, and I am not ashamed to say that. It doesn't matter what age you are, you can still find enjoyment in Disney Channel shows, and I am tired of people saying you can't. Hi, I'm Jona, and I am 21, and I still watch the Disney Channel. No shame! There have been a lot of good Disney Channel shows over the years, and there have been a lot that have really impacted my life in a positive way. So let's sit down and talk about them. My all-time favorite Disney Channel show ever, this will never ever change no matter what they come up with in the future, is Girl Meets World. Is this a shock? I don't think it's a shock. I used to make videos about Girl Meets World every Friday. That is how much I love it. There has never been and will never be a show on Disney Channel like Girl Meets World. It was amazing. The people on it, first of all, were super talented. Still are super talented. They're all still talented, but together it was glorious. It was like a perfect symphony. The writing was great, the lessons were great, the sets were great, the costumes were great, everything was great. Do I have anything bad to say about Girl Meets World? No, I do not, because there is nothing bad about it. Although I do wish that it had continued and they could represent more people, such as the LGBTQ plus community, but that's on Disney Channel for canceling it way too early and way too prematurely. I'm still bitter about that. Let's move on. Another one of my favorite Disney Channel shows of all time is Lizzie Mcguire. I remember watching Lizzie Mcguire when I was little and loving it. I always thought that when I grew up I would be as cool as Lizzie, and I don't think I ever reached Lizzie levels of cool. The Lizzie Mcguire movie, on a side note, is amazing. Who doesn't love that? Lizzie Mcguire. Oh, it was so good. And when you watch it back now, it is so early 2000s. Like, the sound effects themselves just scream early 2000s. Gordo was goals. He was relationship goals. They weren't even in a relationship and he was goals. I want everyone to be a little bit more like Gordo. Lizzie Mcguire was a true coming of age show. It made you feel so much better about growing up. Now, the perfect transition from Lizzie Mcguire is to Auntie Mac, because it's by the same people. Terry Minsky, creator of Lizzie Mcguire and Andy Mac, thank you. Andy Mac, what can I say about Andy Mac? It's great. Cyrus's storyline is so important and so wonderful. His coming out scene was amazing. It was history, Disney Channel history. The actors are incredible on this show. The chemistry, especially between Buffy, Cyrus, and Andy, is so good. The sets are awesome. They're seriously so realistic and so wonderful. The writing is great. I love that it's like a continuous storyline and not just like standalone episodes. That's really refreshing. I think this show is getting to go places where Girl Meets World didn't have the opportunity to go, which is really sad. But Andy Mac does it well, and I'm really glad that it exists. Kim Possible. I loved Kim Possible. I really loved Ron. I remember when I was in Disney World in Hollywood Studios, which was MGM at the time, they had Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable dolls. And I got the Kim Possible one, and I wanted the Ron one so badly, but we had to go to dinner before I had a chance to get it. And then we had dinner, and then the shop was closed because it was like a little kiosk and it was really late, and so I didn't get Ron, and I still don't have Ron, and it still makes me sad. I had some Kim Possible books. The theme song is a jam. It still is a jam to this day, and I'm pretty sure Ron and Kim were the first people I ever shipped, like really hardcore shipped, like OTP all the way. I don't think I was as into Kim Possible as I was into like Lizzie Mcguire and That's So Raven, but I still really liked it. That's So Raven. This might have been my favorite. I'm not sure if this or Lizzie Mcguire was my favorite, but they were pretty close. It might have been a tie. I loved Raven Simone so much. I thought this show was so funny and that they were all so cool. Like, they just seemed so much older and cooler to me. Like, I was in elementary school and they were like higher up in the world and they were nailing it and they were stylish and they were just so cool. And I was super excited for Raven's Home to come out, and I do have to say that I really like it. I think that the kids on that show are super talented, specifically Isaac Ryan Brown. That kid has good comedic timing. Lilo and Stitch the series, I forgot about this one. I love this. I watched it like every day after school. It was a really good series. It tied into the movie like super well. The animation was pretty good, and it was cool to see all the experiments and stuff. I don't know, I remember really liking that. I forgot about that until I looked at this list. Phil of the Future. My first childhood crush was probably on Phil. I'm not kidding, I'm pretty sure it was him. Ali Mashaka. Wow, those were the good days. And I knew someone that looked exactly like Pim, and I thought she was Pim sometimes. I was like, are you sure you're not Pim? But she wasn't Pim, but she looked exactly like her. This show was so funny. And once again, I looked up to these characters like Phil and Keely. I thought they were so cool, and I was determined to be as cool as them when I grew up. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, oh my goodness. I stand that show. Whenever they have reruns now, I remember the episodes like the back of my hand, like it was just yesterday that I saw them. I loved that show. Loved it so much. It was my girl meets world back then. I always preferred Cody over Zack, if that means anything, if that tells you anything about me. And Maddie and London were so cool. Once again, I wanted to be like them. Even characters that came and went, I loved all of them. Oh, that show, it was my life. I loved that show. Shorty McShort Shorts, they were great. I feel like a lot of people probably don't even remember them, but I do. I do so hard. Like Boys on the Run and My Mom Married a Yeti. There were some really great ones. Those were good. Cory in the House. I loved Cory in the House. That show was so funny. One episode in particular that I remember is when Madison Pettis' character, Sophie, had the doll, and she made it seem really creepy to Cory, and like it haunted him and showed up everywhere. That episode was so funny. Wizards of Waverly Place was my Girl Meets World / Sweet Life of Zack and Cody of that era. Selena Gomez was my queen. I loved that show so much that I based all of my outfits on Alex Russo. Not kidding. I would print out pictures of her and go to the mall and try to match her outfits. I taught the "What's that? A hat? Crazy funky chunky hat," that whole song to a group of kindergartners because I was like a teacher's helper, hall monitor person, and I taught that song to them. I was obsessed. I wrote letters to Selena Gomez. All I wanted was to go to a taping of that show. I never did, but oh my gosh, I love that show. Sunny with a Chance, that was really short-lived, but I really liked it. I definitely shipped Chad and Sunny together. That show was underappreciated. I think it's because it was so short-lived. Jonas and Jonas LA, I really loved. I was super invested in Jonas LA. It was like the drama show of my childhood. All the angst. I felt that angst and I was super invested. Good Luck Charlie, a classic, another great one, another really funny one with a lot of really talented people. The woman that played Amy, I think her name is Leslie Ann Baker, but I might be wrong. She is super talented, especially on that show. She really shined. I liked Shake It Up back in the day. Bella Thorne now, I'm a little like, ugh. But Zendaya, Queen Zendaya, she is queen. I liked the fashion on this show. I always really liked the dancing. And I am glad that it introduced me to Zendaya because she is queen. She is the queen. I got into Austin and Ally a little bit late in the game, but I liked it. It was really funny. At times it was a little bit cheesy, but it was still pretty funny, and Ross Lynch was really cute. Liv and Maddie, my love, Dove Cameron. I really like the style of Liv and Maddie and the little interviews that they would do throughout the episodes. I also think this was a really talented cast. Joey Bragg, he is underappreciated. He has some talent. He's someone I would really like to meet and get to know because he seems so quirky and so cool. Like, he kind of fascinates me. Joey, Tenzing, Dove, they were all really talented people. When Jordan Fisher was on this show, thank you whoever casted Jordan Fisher. That was an amazing time. That was the peak of this show. Jordan and Dove's chemistry was so good. Stuck in the Middle, I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate Stuck in the Middle as much as they should. First of all, the casting. Whoever casted this show, they look like a real family. It is crazy. They all look related. It is so believable that they are a family. I love the style of Stuck in the Middle, how they film it. Everyone is so in sync with each other. Like, the show just moves. It has some really quotable and really funny moments, and someone that definitely stands out is Ariana, who plays Daphne. She is so good. She is so funny. She has amazing comedic timing, amazing line delivery. She cracks me up every time. And last but not least, the new Tangled series. I really like this series. I love the animation style of it. It is gorgeous. Mandy Moore, Zachary Levi, James Monroe Iglehart, Jeremy Jordan, oh, the cast. The cast is so good. And I just love seeing more of Rapunzel's adventures. I feel like this series is being kind of glossed over by the general public, and that is such a shame because it's great. I really hope it doesn't get canceled prematurely. I'm a little bit concerned that it might. So those are my favorite Disney Channel shows of all time. What are some of yours? I love you all. Stay beautiful, you people. Bye!